Going on YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry and I am the crypto vet. Thank you for tuning back in. Oh, holy shit, I messed something up. Thank you for tuning back in. Right now, the markets are not looking that good. We talked about in the previous videos how unfortunately President Trump and the First Lady have corona. I mean, he's not the most unhealthy guy. He's in pretty good shape, I guess, for being in his 70s there, maybe a little obese. But he's not sick by any other means, so he should be able to recover from this just fine, especially having the best doctors in the world at his disposal. So wishing him and his family the best. However, this did take a tumble for the stock market. Pretty much everybody is relying on Trump to save the world economy, and by printing stimulus money isn't going to do that unless there's a plan afterwards. So right now we're in a questionable state. So hopefully we can get some answers here soon. But what does this mean for the markets, the crypto markets now? Unfortunately, I am still bearish. I'm very, very bullish in the long term, and we're going to get into that here in just a minute. So if you like my mediocre content, please hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit that subscribe. Tell me why you don't like me in the comments. I'm really, really close to being affiliate on Twitch. So if you guys would help me out and just hop over to Twitch and leave me a follow, I'd really appreciate it. And also, I'm going to just edit in some clips right here. It's just when I was doing a live trade. Yeah, I'm basically, I think we're one dump away from hitting the bottom before we take off really high. So until then, I'm just making money off the small moves as best I can. So like to put it into example here, if we scroll out, we have these two lines here. So this light blue line is one moving average. This dark blue line is another moving average. And if you can see here, it has one W, one D. So one is for 1 week moving average. So it takes 20 weeks, averages them together and makes a line. This one takes 20 days, averages them together and makes a line. And we've been struggling to get back over the daily moving average. And if we scroll back, we can see the times that we were above both the blue and the light blue line, things were good. But once we got below one and then potentially below another, not so good. So I definitely think we're going to come down to at least about here. And then the next one would be right about here. So 9,200-ish and about 10,000. When I was doing a live trade and explaining some stuff on Twitch. So it's definitely a more like one-on-one scenarios. So like if you just want to hop in and you have questions, please, there's no stupid questions. Like I had to learn all this stuff and I had stupid questions. So I thought of this at one point and I do not mind. I'm not going to call you out. I'm just so happy that you're learning in this space too, because people frown upon anybody who wants to learn because you're a fucking nerd. That's what I was just called 10 minutes ago. Well, you know what? I'm a fucking nerd. And this fucking nerd makes a lot of money doing this stuff. So if you want to be a cool fucking nerd that makes a lot of money doing this stuff with me, come hang out. All right. But let's head over to CoinMarketCap. We can see that Bitcoin's currently at 10.5, Ethereum about 350. He's about 350. Okay. And then XRP is around 23.5 cents. So far for the biggest losers or biggest gainers here, Ampleforth up to exactly $1, Celsius 119. Tron, one of the ones I do like, is almost up to 3 cents. The biggest losers, oops, I gotta pick the right one here. The biggest losers today are, looks like, oh no, PumaPay, the one that went up like 400%, 100%. I still haven't had a chance to look at it, guys. I'm really sorry. I said if you are interested, start spamming me in the Discord or the comments, and I will get a video out ASAP. If that's the information you guys were looking for, just let me know. So let's go ahead and head over to Bitcoin. So I have the Bitcoin weekly chart up, and the reason why I got the weekly chart is because it's Saturday. That means tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time here in Texas, the weekly candle will close and we will get more data as to what we're doing. So if I zoom out here on the weekly candles, you can see the 2.5-year resistance line we had originally here. And then we also have our long resistance line that we are now adding in as of now because we had a new high as far as breaking out of this symmetrical triangle. So for this, I drew 3 symmetrical triangles. I drew the first one that we broke out of. I drew the new one that we have forming, and then I drew this alternative one, and this alternative one comes from the Black Swan event in March of this year. And the reason I keep it here is because if we zoom in, we can see that we are actually following it quite well now as we bounce off of this 20 weekly exponential moving average here. which is this dark blue line. So I put this one in because we were following it quite nicely, and this could be a very, very bullish sign that we may have a jump in the next week or so back up to retest if we were to follow this symmetrical triangle. However, I don't think we're going to follow this one because there's still too much fear in the markets right now, not just with the president, just with potential new shutdowns. Are people going to happen? Is there going to actually be an election? Will it be postponed now because he has corona? So, those are the types of things that can happen right before an election that would thus postpone it because the candidate is not healthy or whatever in those senses. And I don't know all the rules on that, so don't quote me on it, but I'm going to try to do some research on it today. So I definitely think we're probably just going to continue out here, especially until around this point in the symmetrical triangle. And that's just because this is when the election is. And then if we just continue on, the end of this triangle is exactly at the end of the year, exactly when we had a huge rally before, during this time period, December, January, crashing in February. So during that time period, 3 years ago, we had a huge rally. So if we took a measured move of this triangle here, where the fuck does that put us? It puts us almost to $30,000. So that's very, 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 very bullish for Bitcoin as well as all cryptocurrencies, that something like this move could happen. And this is the kind of move that I am planning and expecting to happen by the end of the year because it's so tight in this triangle. So then let's go ahead and add some stuff that's going else on, because everybody still wants to know what's happening now. All right, well, let's look at our MACD. Right now on the MACD, we are about to have a bearish cross. So right now we have already technically crossed, but we will solidify that cross in 1 day, 6 hours, if we close anywhere where we're at now or lower. And currently we're above the 10.5, which is a good thing. So there's a chance we could bounce up. And we have a whole day and a half to do that. But also the weekends, we don't really see much happen. It's usually around Monday. By Monday, we'll already have a close. So that on top of other things could send us downwards. So overall, I still think we are in a bearish spot. The problem is, if we're bearish, where do we go to? Well, I know for sure that we're going to get good support on this 20 exponential weekly moving average, which we haven't even tested again this week. So we could come down here, test this, open on Monday and things go crazy. Maybe, the vaccine works, Trump gets it, whatever, and then bounce up and go crazy. But either way, I think we're still going to have a drop this weekend, a little bit lower. So if you're trying to get in on a long position here, I think you'll get wicked out real easy. So unless you're buying in around the 10,000 range, I wouldn't be doing any longs just yet, because unless you're doing very low leverage and have a lot of volume of whatever you're trading, it's going to be really hard not to get wicked out if you're trying to do anything with leverage. So I'd say wait until we're down to this 20 weekly exponential moving average before you even try to enter any type of trade. So this is just on the weekly. We have more information coming. We need to keep an eye on this. On the RSI, we're doing good. We're sitting at a median of around 55. Our historical volatility here, which is something I added in just for this weekly chart, is we're getting low again. We're down to about the 40. When we hit down to the 20 and the 10 range, explosive moves occur. And I can just show you real quick. If we come down to here where we had the dump after this long bear market, I think it was like a year or something like that, we dropped again. Came all the way down to here. Our historical volatility almost touched 20, and then boom, explosive move to the upside. So where are we at now? We went down, got close, we had to move up. Well, now looks like we're maybe heading back down to get to those lower HVT marks. So we could have an explosive move to the upside or the downside. So, this is just saying that we're getting close to making a decision one way or the other. So there's definitely some bullish things for the long term, but in the short term, it's around 50-50 to more bearish, in my opinion. If we move into the daily candle chart, all we're seeing is the same thing, just drug out. And I had a little observation that I took, which is this is the bar pattern from right after the Corona dump where we recovered. If I just take that over and just slide it over to here, it literally fits perfectly to make a bigger symmetrical triangle that's a continuation of ours before an explosion upwards. Do I think this is going to happen exactly? No, not at all. But do I think we'll follow this pattern and this big triangle that I'm anticipating? Man, everything is showing yes. And in the next week here, I will get confirmation on whether or not this trend line, how do I put it back? There we go. I'll get confirmation if this trend line here is going to be maintained or if it will be broken and then become resistance. Because then if it is, this won't work anymore because I doubt we'll have any spikes above it to retest this one. We'll probably just stay right down here with all this shit happening in the world. So just a unique observation that I found. But we still want to know what's happening now. So if we zoom in a little bit further, we're on the 4-hour. This was the box that I was saying right along this line, this 20 daily exponential moving average was going to be very, very important. And anything here would be a tough place to make a trade just because of the chance that you could just get wigged out real fast on higher leverage. But then when I said if we broke down below this, I would expect a fall down to about here. Well, I rode this out on XRP, and that was the trade that I'll try my best to edit it in, but it was the same trade that I did with Twitch, and it was over $1,000 in profit just in one day, just because we were able to find a very, very good trade setup. So we're following this here on Bitcoin. We're on the 4-hour. We dropped below this trend line, but we got picked up by a nice support here. So I drew this as an ascending channel. When we dropped below it, we were easily picked up, and then we rode and maintained above it, and now we're staying right in this little 50% margin. So still don't have much to tell us on what's going to happen because we had this little Bart Simpson pattern, maybe a shoulder, head, shoulder with a dump down. So now we're getting picked up. So if we actually want to trade even, to figure out what to do next, we have to go zoom even further in. This is how it gets what I'm trying to say. So now we're here on the hourly. Well, after we came out of that dump, this was that box. This is where I entered into the trade. I was able to, I think, get in somewhere around here. And again, this was on XRP, not Bitcoin, but I use Bitcoin right along my XRP charts to, if I can see a big move happening on Bitcoin, and I expect that move to happen within 10 to 15 minutes of XRP, I can use the Bitcoin to help me drive, okay, well, yeah, I think it's still going to go up for XRP. However, if Bitcoin goes down now, XRP maybe will just stay stagnant instead of having a jump because of that change, right? So if we zoom in here on the hourly, Bitcoin is currently forming a rising wedge here, and this is a bearish pattern. We have a tightening wedge that's coming out of a drop. We have tons of upper end resistance here, which is these red dotted lines. These are flat resistance swing points. And right now we are currently testing it as support now, but I expect that we will just come up to this point here, 10.6, and then we will get rejected, and then wherever it breaks from this rising wedge is how far it'll go down. And you can see if it jumps out here, it puts this expected down back to the 10.4 where we had a lot of support. So this, in my opinion, will come back down and break, and then maybe Monday, if we still hold above 10.5, then we could have a blast off. But it's, to me, looking like it's going to be a pretty bearish October as we go into the election. And that's just a quick look at XRP because this video is going just a tad bit long. We are underneath our moving averages, our 20 weekly and our 20 daily moving average. Let me change this one down to 20 so we can see it. So we're below both the weekly and the daily EMAs. So if XRP can't get back above those, I would expect another drop down, which is again going to coincide with Bitcoin. So I currently am in a short. However, I entered in a little early, and when I entered in early, it's getting really close to my stop loss. So hopefully this move is correct. Otherwise, I will be out 500. However, I do everything to about a 3-to-1 ratio. So even though I have $1,800 and I guess it'll be 600. I don't want to lose all of my profits and everything, so we'll enter into a new trade at that point once we have enough confirmations going in. And then I found a little thing on the rising wedge just to show you guys bearish pattern that begins wide at the bottom, just to show you that everything is from facts. At least I try my best to be. But hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, please hop into the Discord. It's 100% free. The links are in the description. I will be on Twitch right after this video, probably starting around 3 p.m. for me. So that'll give me time to edit this video and post it. And if you have any questions or just want to chat, whatever makes you want to do, watch video games, come hang out. I'm really, really close to getting affiliate with Twitch. So if I can get affiliate on Twitch, I'll be very excited to do another giveaway and give you guys an update on how the course and stuff is going. So again, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.